It's Friday night, and the mood is right. Gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, T.G.I.F. What's up, P-Seekers? My name is Joe Otis from joeotis.com, and you are watching the hottest show on Friday nights in general, Lit Picks. So we have to do a little pivot this week because I can no longer talk about the NFL or betting lines on my website. I have to introduce my guest right now, Mike Costello. How you doing this week?
Doing great, Joe. I mean, what a wonderful entrance. I mean, I was falling asleep, but I think I'm now awake now, and I kind of miss, TGIF now. I'm going to go back to my younger days and start watching TV after that. Was that one of the real beginnings that they used to play?
Yeah, that was with their song from T.G.I.F. That was like the first 1989 opening. So from T.G.I.F. So we have to pivot now from sports to pop culture, as I'm now an employee part-time of the NFL, so I have to go within the gambling guidelines, and I really can't be talking about spreads on streaming videos or on my website. So we're going to pivot over to pop culture. And welcome to the first ever edition of the new edition of Lit Picks. I'm your host, Joe Otis. We have some completely brand new to do. What we're going to do is we're going to now pick a topic each week. And because it's Friday night, we're going to use T.G.I.F, the best T.G.I.F shows. And let me explain how the game is played. So the game is played this way. So Joe and Michael have picked their top three regarding a pop culture topic in a snake-style draft. Since I won last week, I will have the first selection. After the choices are made, we will have Joe and Mike will select their keeper topic. So we each get three selections. We'll pick our one keeper topic that we think is best. And then after that's done, we will enter a knockout round where we'll go back into a snake-style draft again, where Mike will have the option, or I will have the option to remove one of our opponent's selections. A final four will be chosen, which we entered into a Facebook and Twitter poll. Whoever picks the winning selection, who has the most votes at the end of it, by Monday at 11 o'clock, will be that week's winner of Lit Picks. Do I make any sense, Mike?
Yeah. They worst case scenario, they can always read. So I know that was not my strong point, but they can read on the bottom if they really need anything. I'm still just baffled by your singing in the beginning. So I remember sitting back, actually looking forward to weekends and sitting down with my family and watching and waiting for TGIF to come on and watch these TV shows. So I am very excited to talk about them now.
Oh, I am too. Definitely a lot of memories watching TGIF with my family, and then afterwards we watched 2020. Remember that?
I never heard that, no. But ABC Family kept me hooked though during college because they played basically TGIF during the day at 12 to 1 in between my classes and practice. So I got a nice couple of things to watch there.
Yeah, so we would always usually watch. We'd have dinner sometimes at my grandparents' house. We would watch Jeopardy, then Wheel of Fortune. Then that TGIF lineup would come on, and then once 2020 came on, it was time to go to bed. So those are the memories I had when I was a little kid. My brother and I would watch that. We love TGIF, but let's get started with the draft. Here's my first round selection, and without a shocker, it's no shocker here. It's Full House. Everyone loves Full House. I mean, they've had their own spin-off show on Netflix, Fuller House. I mean, everyone loves Uncle Jesse. Everyone quotes Uncle Joey. Cut it out. Everyone knows Danny. Everyone knows Bob Saget. I mean, this is Mike's favorite show, right? What do you think, Mike? You love this show.
Yeah, I mean, I love this show, and that's it's I have no choice, and there's not much I can really say to it. I have still never lost in Full House trivia. People have tried to challenge me and they lost, and you actually said something, in the green room back there, and I still answered it very quickly. But yeah, this is a great show, and it's funny because you were talking about Fuller House. I was just reading an article on Candace Bure, and she was I guess they're finishing up the last episode of Fuller House. Next week will be the last episode for good. So Fuller House is coming on also. Fitting time for us.
I'm more interested in seeing how they're going to address the Aunt Becky scandal. Like, what's going to happen there?
No comment.
I'm just interested what they're going to do there. I mean,
I have no idea.
Not in the show anymore. Like,
maybe a little cameo. I don't know.
Maybe they'll replace her with a different actress. Probably. What do you think about that? Do you have any funny memories of Full House? Like, did you have any favorite episodes?
Um, it's weird, but the one that always sticks out to me is it's the Grandpa Pulley episode, and it's just that he catches Michelle eating pudding in the boat,
Yeah.
and that's how he catches that she skipped school. But I don't know. That's for some reason that's the one that sticks out to me the most.
I remember the episode where like Stephanie drives a car into the front of the kitchen. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
That always
yeah.
stood out in my mind.
You're in big trouble, Mister.
Was that the first time she said that?
I don't even know.
But then again, there was also the episode where DJ, I think she became like a fitness freak, and I think she had some sort of problem, and that was one of those quote very special episodes. And I'll never forget that. She was like, "Oh, they don't want what? How can you say that? Like these beautiful models of my Charlie Brown cheeks." Sounded just like her, didn't I?
It reminds me of the Saved by the Bell episode when Jessie is doing the pills because she's trying to stay up or studying
Yeah.
For that test.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And I'm scared.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of.
All right. But, I think that everyone was expecting Full House to be the first pick of the draft. So moving on to the second pick of the draft, Mike's round one selection, and let everyone know who you selected.
I am going to select Family Matters. This is my second favorite show, and Urkel is one of the greatest characters on T.G.I.F. I think I think he might be the greatest character ever on T.G.I.F. personally. So I had to go with Family Matters. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, absolutely, Family Matters was a great show. It was a spin-off show from Perfect Strangers, as Harry worked at the Chicago Tribune, and it was definitely a show that was supposed to be focused on the Winslows, but you got Steve Urkel in the middle of season one. He just became the breakaway character. He was always a recurring appearance, and he would just do something crazy where he would knock something over, and then he just blew up from there. And all of a sudden, you got the Urkel dance coming. Did he have his own serial too? I'm not even sure if he did.
I think he did. Yeah, he got, and they did, and they always did the crossover too, where a lot of them would be on Full House and they would be on Family, and they did the crossover. So I kind of liked how they did that.
I remember the episode where I think that like Urkel did some sort of rocket. He had a rocket strapped to him, and he fell into San Francisco. And then they did a crossover with Full House.
The bonding between him and Carl Winslow was phenomenal. I loved the interaction between both of them. I thought it was great chemistry that they had together.
Yeah, I mean that was definitely a really good show. They would have some sort of serious topics that would sometimes deal with racism, and they would have gang violence and things like that. I'll never forget the time when Rachel's restaurant get on fire. That was a sad episode too.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it just kind of went off the walls there. I mean, towards the end there, they started doing Stefan Urkel, where he would go inside he would go inside that make that sort of transformation from his nerdy self to the more suave, sophisticated character.
Yeah, but it was entertaining.
And then Steve had the girl Myra was her name. I liked her too. But yeah, I mean, Family Matters is definitely a great show. It would definitely be a top pick for me as well. So we're going to move forward now to your next selection. We're going to go with what do you think about your next round two selection, Mike?
Boy Meets World. I mean, there's no question about it. This is Corey and Topanga, and they were the two best characters. But then Eric Matthews, I mean, has completely stolen the show, and then everybody was just watching and waiting for what Eric Matthews was going to do next. So there's no question. Boy Meets World. Heck, if I could take Girl Meets World, I would take that too because I love that show. And after 3 seasons, it was kind of canceled a little bit too soon because I really did enjoy that show as well. And they were trying to cater towards younger kids and not our generation, but. Yeah, Boy Meets World, Mr. Feeney, hands down. I got you here on this one.
Yeah, I don't really understand why they canceled Girl Meets World only after 2 years. That show seemed like a hit show on Disney Channel, and don't have any clue why they canceled it. Boy Meets World was a great show. I definitely liked that. I like that he was a Phillies fan, and I remember one in the early season, he would stay up all night watching the World Series, and then he got in trouble for it because his dad let him stay up, and then I mean, he was always had the Phillies jersey on. And then you had Sean Hunter, and then you had the cool teacher that adopted Sean for a few seasons there. You had him.
I think it touched on real, real base things, especially with Sean and his lifestyle and everything, and how other people have that kind of upbringing. So I thought it was a pretty good show at the time, especially when we were younger, to kind of see that.
And everyone loved Topanga. She dated Lance Bass for a while there, and then she's a big wrestling fan apparently too.
Oh.
And then there was the one girl who was, I think it was Jack's girlfriend. It was what was, I don't know if it was Sean or Jack. No, Jack's
in college.
She had like short hair, I believe.
The one in college.
Yeah.
With the orange hair, redhead.
Yeah.
No.
She's
I don't
know nowadays.
Yeah.
She does more adult things, I believe, nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know.
If that floats your boat, you can watch that. But moving forward to the next selection is my round 2 selection is Perfect Strangers. I mean, I love the show growing up. I mean, these guys had really good physical comedy. Mark Lynn Baker and Bronson Pinchot. They would always do the dance of joy. La, 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 hey, hey, hey. For some reason, the 80s, they just loved having people with foreign accents be their stars for some reason. People that could do foreign accents they would have always these weird characters that would do that. They really don't do that much anymore. It's because it's probably kind of offensive. But definitely love Perfect Strangers. Love the dance of joy. I remember the episode where like the basement flooded, and they were like trapped in the basement, and they were like, "Oh no, we're gonna get electrocuted." Just some weird stuff like that. I mean, but this show is definitely very underrated. I think that these guys, like I said, they were a master of physical comedy. The two of them, the way they would use their height advantage. For Bronson Pinchot was like much taller than Mark Lynn Baker. He would like pick him up in his arms. I always found that to be really funny. So you had Balky was a crazy wild one, and then you had Cousin Larry was a scheming, straight man there. So, but I wish they had some sort of reunion between these two. So love to see that on Netflix. But what do you think about the show?
I mean, it's funny because like I love the show. I think it was the first ever show, was it not? I don't remember. I thought. Yeah, I think it was like the beginning of it. And like, I just remember loving the show. And it's odd because I don't really remember any significant parts to the show. I just remember like it was awesome and the chemistry that they had together was great. And I always laughed and watched it. And I should go back and probably, I might have to look it up on Amazon now and order that because I was big on Get a Life with Chris Elliott. I was starting to watch, and now I want to get back into Perfect Strangers.
So moving forward to my next one, we've hinted about this show several times. I think this might have been my first ever lit picks. Introduction is Step by Step. Love Step by Step. Definitely had a strong cast. You have Suzanne Summers. You have a Patrick Duffy fresh off Dallas. You have Brandon Call as the old son. I mean, he doesn't act anymore, but he was like Sean Baywatch at the time. He was the original. Cool. You have Stacey Keenan, who was on My Two Dads. Christine Lakin, of course, we've mentioned her before. We all loved her. And you had Christopher Castillo, who was in Beethoven. Like the cast was definitely really solid. And then the breakout character for some reason was freaking Cody, who was like a Sasha Mitchell, who was like in kung fu movies. And all of a sudden, he just becomes like the crazy burnout cousin who lives in a van at the household. So he was like the breakaway character there. And then I think there was some controversy surrounding him. And he was replaced actually by Bronson Pinchot, came on the show at the end there. So it was kind of weird. It had the family sitcom type dynamic where the youngest child would sometimes like vanish and disappear. Because they had a son named Brendan, I believe. And he would just like disappear in episodes, wouldn't show up for like 5 minutes, towards the end there. But Step by Step was definitely a good show. I enjoyed it. I mean, like the step family dynamic because my parents divorced when I was young and I had a step family. So what do you think about it, Mike?
I think it's a strong show. And like I said, I wasn't. So this is a show that I wasn't as fond of, I think, during the T.G.I.F days. But as I stated, my college career, this show I remember was on at 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On ABC Family. And like I said, in between classes and just before going to football practice, I used to destroy watching the show. And I used to love to come back to my room and just throw the show on from 1 to 2 o'clock and watch Step by Step. So that was really my calling. It was when I was in college waiting to go to practice and I started to watch this episode. And I think I was late to a couple practices too because I wanted to see the ending of the episode. But it is what it is.
I remember the episode where I think it was Mark and he was like training Kung Fu and martial arts and something like that. And then they were I also remember the one where they had like Beavis and Butthead doing like a Halloween episode. That was so weird. It was so weird to have like Beavis and Butthead, which is like an MTV show that was way not teen, and then it was on it was on like a family show. Like, what was the point of that?
And then Speed Racer was on after it.
Speed Racer on what, on MTV?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about though when Beavis and Butthead like they like made an appearance on Step by Step,
Oh,
like, actors.
yeah. I don't remember that. Your memory is fond. Mine's terrible. I just remember what I eat.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Did you? Speaking of eating, did you like my wings video I made earlier today?
I did watch it, and yeah, they looked pretty good. I kind of wanted to see you take a bite out of it, but you didn't do that, so I was a little disappointed in that. Yeah, I wanted to see you kind of burn your mouth biting it, but it's cool.
I guess I have a complex of having people watch me eat food on TV or on camera, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next time I'll do that.
Yeah, I have no shame.
I have a video coming up. I'll be making some low carb donuts, so that should be pretty exciting. And
Sounds wonderful.
you'll probably get that within the next week or so. So
Well, my nickname was Donut in college, so yeah, maybe I'll have to try them.
why they call you donut for?
Well, because I ate donuts. You see, usually before practice, people like to eat fruit. Um, I was the person that took the donuts instead of the fruit, so my coaches nicknamed me Donut.
Oh my god!
Yeah, pretty much stuck. I love donuts, and everybody knows that I like donuts. So why not? Vanilla cream, can't beat it.
Did you ever get sick at practice?
No, never. I used to eat pork, roll, egg, and cheese, and steak, egg, and cheese before games, so my stomach's used to it. I got an iron stomach.
All right. On to Mike's round 3 selection. Mike, tell everyone what you picked for round 3.
This was tough. There was a lot of tough ones. Like I love personally the Hughleys, but I figured that not many people were going to watch that because it was later on in TGIF, and I'm going for my generation. So I went with Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is a show like Melissa Joan Hart was just like, I think people were fascinated with her. She's got that new show now, so I'm actually watching on Netflix with my wife, where she's like a chef. I forget what it's called. No Good Nick, I think. But she does that. Salem the Cat. I just thought I don't know, the show was just very entertaining, and I was pondering between like Hango and Mr. Cooper, but Sabrina the Teenage Witch just always did it for me. I love the show. It was just entertaining, and yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. I enjoyed the show. I mean, what do you think about it? Did you watch it?
A little bit. I always thought Salem was funny. It's pretty weird to see the Sabrina the Teenage Witch from the ABC version of it compared to Netflix, where it's a complete horror show.
I've never watched that.
I always thought Caroline Ray was pretty funny. She was pretty good in it. It's just that, I mean, like I said, it was Sabrina the Teenage Witch was later on in the run as well. So I kind of didn't watch it that much, but this was a show that took over for Family Matters and Step by Step. So I mean, Sabrina the Teenage Witch is a solid selection, and there may be some people who really like the show watching.
For the Harry Potter fans, come on out.
A lot of Harry Potter fans. So, so definitely, I mean, we have our 3 picks each. So we're gonna go on our keeper picks now. So it's pretty obvious the keeper pick that I'm gonna have. I'm definitely gonna
breeze through this.
That's pretty much a breeze. Like there's no reason for me not to take Full House. It's obviously everyone's favorite show, a lot of people's favorite show. Maybe not everybody's, but I think that this will be a really popular selection. It's his favorite right there. He loves it, obviously. And Mike,
that's why I'm not voting.
What's your keeper pick going to be?
Oh, it's Family Matters. There's no question about it.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Mike's keeper pick will be Family Matters, and then Mike's knockout pick. So we're going snake draft style. So he just gets to knock out one of mine. And he's going to knock out Perfect Strangers.
Yes.
I mean, that was my second round pick, so it pretty much makes obvious sense to do that. So I think in future installments of this, we're going to have a wheel we're going to spin, and whatever it lands on is the option we're going to pick. Where we don't really have the means to just pick up things right away. It's our first episode, so I figured I would discuss T.G.I.F randomly on the show. So that's what we're going to go with. So next week we'll be able to have some sort of some sort of instantaneous, selections where you may not have the time to think about what you're going to pick. So, and we'll come up with some topics that are more, close together, like, best all-star pitcher or something like that. I don't know. That's sports, so I don't know if we should talk sports, but, something that's a little bit more in general for like pop culture. So my knockout pick for Mike will be, it's going to be Boy Meets World. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious there. I mean, I think that Sabrina Teenage Witch might have their fans out there. We might be surprised. There might be a lot of people who love that show. It was on the show for a pretty long time. I want to say it was on there for 4 or 5 seasons. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it may be this may be the dark horse here. They may end up winning the whole thing. So I might be doing some karaoke punishment next week to just bring the Teenage Witch. We'll find out. All right, so on to our selections. Just to recap, I have Full House and Step by Step. Mike selects Your Family Matters and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And so we're going to come with our karaoke punishment song. So for you, Mike, you picked for me, once again, Bop. You really want me to sing the song. This might be the week for you to probably want to pick.
That's why I chose it. I'm going with the 90s.
You might want to pick some sort of Andrea. This would have been Andrea Bocelli, though, definitely, because this is definitely something that I could probably lose. My pick for you, Mike, will be, because you really love Full House, it's going to be Forever by Jesse and the Rippers. So
that was my wedding song. That was my first dance.
That's right. I was there. That's why I picked it for you. So
every single person laughing when that song played because they knew it would fit me.
Well, Mike, it's been a quicker edition of our show. I mean, we were normally going for 35 to 40 minutes, but we're almost done now. What do you think about this new format?
I think it's good. I think it's something new. It's evasive. So we'll try getting people out there to see our votes. And like I said, next week will be a lot better because we'll be able to like kind of go on the fly and we'll just start topics out left and right. And I think it'll be different with our selections because it'll be more of a live type draft, that we're doing. So
that'll be interesting. So I mean, this was definitely a really big pivot. I mean, we were used to doing NFL picks each week. We're getting our groove on, getting in the swing of it. And then I got the news this week that I can't be mentioning the NFL if I want to keep my job, and I do like my job, so I wanted to stay there. So, we're going to stick with it. We have one viewer actually going in and out there, so someone's been watching this. So, thank you for watching. If you like this,
like my haircut.
What'd you say?
It's all about my haircut.
Oh, I like your haircut too, and your beard coming in. All right, so thank you for watching, and if you like the videos, please subscribe, please like, please share, please.
Vote.
What was that?
And vote.
And vote, yeah. I mean, we'll have the votes probably later on tonight on Facebook and Twitter. And, whoever, we'll make sure to share this, and hopefully we'll get a nice little turnout here. So, Mike, you don't forget to share either. You got to share it on your page. I'll share it on mine. And hopefully we'll get a nice, good show going on here. What do you think?
I hope so. We'll check it out and see what's out.
All right, Mike, it's time for you to end the show. And Mike, what do you have to say to everybody?
Well, I'm saying stay lit because it's Friday night.
That's right. And the mood is right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a great night. Bye.
Vote for me.